Y'all know I'm showing off. I done came back. No, this is my second day on the road, but 3 times this week. I'm showing off. Because y'all know it be far few and in between of me going live. I don't expect no whole bunch of people to get on here. Hence, it doesn't really matter. But, since I don't be getting up here often, I expect my viewers to have dropped dramatically. I don't care. But I'm going to try, wait a minute, before I get to talking. What is this new stuff at the bottom? YouTube always trying to switch up some shit. They be trying to see if you paying attention. Because what is this square for? Let me see something. Mm, What's that for? Who the heck? YouTube do the stupidest stuff. I swear. All right, so I'm gonna do that tomorrow or Thursday. I told y'all I was gonna have somebody come up or do it in the chat and talk about this experience they had with this drone. I don't know if she gonna get up here or if she wants to do it in the chat. That's a lot of typing though. That's I'm gonna have to tell her, that's a lot of typing that you're gonna have to do. But nevertheless, either I'm gonna do it tomorrow evening or Thursday evening. Let me tell y'all now, I've been driving. I have been driving for like 25 years with no driver's license. Why? I'll tell you why. Because in Maryland, they want you they want you to jump through hoops to get a fucking driver's license. And I just was refusing to do that. The Aquarius in me was not going to allow me to do what is required to obtain a driver's license. So, first of all, they want you to get your permit, hold your permit for 9 months. Then they want you to take a driving class, which is between $250 and $300. I was refusing to do that because I'm like, I'm not about to pay somebody for them to do something that I already know how to do. Like I was just not gonna do it. I just was refusing. So, nevertheless, I've gotten a few tickets throughout these years. Not a lot because I hadn't been pulled over very much, and the few times, a couple times I've been pulled over, they didn't even give me no freaking ticket. They just let me go. So, nonetheless, my father kept begging me about going to get my license. So I'm like, let me just hurry up. I'm gonna go ahead and get my license since I'm no longer living in Baltimore. So I go to motor vehicle the week before last. I get all the way at the desk. First of all, let me tell you something. They do not care who they give a driver's license to down here. Okay, they either it's that or maybe it was me. I don't know, but they do not care. So they make me take this eye exam. So the guy telling me to read the letters, and then look at the signs and tell him what the signs mean. So I'm like, sir, mm, I said, sir, I can't see them signs and they don't have no letters on them. They said ain't no words on them. He said, don't even worry about it. I got you. Just go ahead. Just tell me what the rest of them say. So I do that. So we go through doing that, and then he's like, damn, you can't take it. So I'm like, why not? And he's like, because you have a suspension on your record. I'm like, how the hell I got a suspension on something that I don't even have and never had it? They just suspended my license that I never even had. So I said, he's like, I don't know what you gotta do, but so he gave me this phone number and he's like, call them and then come back. So I had got a ticket like 3 years ago. Yeah, I think it was like 3 years ago. I had got a ticket driving in my brother's car. And so I thought that all I had to do was pay the ticket and it would be it. But no, 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 no. I had to take, apparently, was supposed to take a driver improvement class, which is online. So I went and took, I was pissed off. I was so pissed off because I just had it in my mind I was going to go and get that taken care of the day that I had went up there. So I had to pay to take the freaking driving improvement class, which was freaking, oh my gosh, that shit was like 8 hours long. I was so irritated taking that test. So I took the test, and then it take them like 3 days to take the suspension, 3 to 4 days to take the suspension off of your record. Then you got to pay for them to, what is it called, the National Driving Society or some shit. You got to pay them to email motor vehicle to let them know that you completed the class. So I had to pay for the class, pay for a fucking email. I said, since when you gotta pay to email something? So I did that though. I did everything I was supposed to do. So I went up there last week again, because that was week before last. Yeah. So last week I went back. So, and that motor vehicle down here is like super small. It looked like a freaking corner store actually, but it's really, really small. I had already took the I part of the test, so I had to take the driving part and the test on the computer. So we standing outside in line because we had to, you gotta get the motor vehicle like super early. And so it was just like, I don't know if this was like a Filipino guy or something like that, but he was standing in front of me in the line, and his friend came over, and he's trying to explain to me that he's the guy's interpreter for him because the guy can't speak English. Why he felt the need to tell me that, I don't know. I don't know why people just be walking up talking to me. They be feeling the need to tell me their life stories. I don't know why. I guess I just have the face for it. Nonetheless, so the people that work in motor vehicle, when they first open up, they come outside and like come and talk to the people in the line to find out what they're there for. So the guy that working there, one of the guys working there, he comes up there and asks the guy what he there for. So the guy says, his interpreter, he tells him he can't speak English. I'm here to interpret. Mind you, this man can't hardly speak English either. So the dude that working on the vehicle was like, "You his interpreter? How the hell you going to interpret anything and I can barely understand you?" When I say, I said, "Now why would you say that to him?" You know, I was laughing so fucking hard. I said, "You is wrong. You is so wrong for saying that." So I finally get in there. First of all, no, I had to tell my father the first time I went to motor vehicle. I'm like, Daddy, you gonna have to put me on your insurance because you have to be on somebody's car insurance. Whoever your car, you're gonna be doing your test, and you got to be on the insurance. So I'm like, Daddy, you gonna have to put me on your insurance so I can take my driver's test. He took me like, oh no, you ain't getting on my goddamn insurance. I said, Daddy, I have to get on your insurance. So if I'll call and get me on his insurance. So I go in there and I had already given them my paperwork and stuff. So my father had to bring in his registration for them. So I'm sitting down at the computer taking the goddamn test. Now, when you walk into the motor vehicle, it's so small down there. All the computers are like right in the front door, like right by the front door. So it's no, it's not in a room separate from everybody else. My father gonna come in there while I'm taking the test. Mind you, it's other people taking their freaking tests at the computer. Here come my father. Girl, what the hell you in here doing all loud? I said, Daddy, I'm taking my test. Oh, all right then. Everybody turn around looking like, what in the world? Father, my father is crazy as hell. I swear to goodness. So I took my test on my computer. I didn't have to take like it didn't go all the way up to the 25 questions because I had already passed enough. So the computer shut off after you pass a certain amount of questions. So I go over there to the guy that has to finish putting the information in so that he can take me out driving. So we go outside and the person that went in before me was like in front of me driving. This girl was an idiot. Because I don't know what in the hell she was thinking because apparently she was not. So I'm trying to stay away from her because she's driving like she's swerving driving her car. And so the driver was like, girl, if you don't drive this car, so I'm like, you not about to fail me. You not about to fail me because I'm going over the speed limit to my son. I said, because they is driving retarded. And he was like, I know they is. He was like, just go around. I was like, you not about to fail me. Talking about I went around. I was like, you ain't about to fail me saying I went around. He's like, girl, go around. If you don't drive this car. So I go around her. But I don't know how she got past me again. However, we had to turn left right before we got to a highway. This girl comes across two lanes and makes this left turn. So she cut over two lanes. Right. She cut over two lanes to make this freaking left turn. He said, oh no, she failed. He was like, she failed. I said, what the fuck was she thinking about? Like, why? Why would you do that? You just gonna cut over two lanes of traffic. Like, for one thing, like you ain't taking the test trying to get your driver's license. I said, wow. So I finished. Then you don't gotta do parallel parking down here, even though I know how to do it. Because, like I said, I've been driving for freaking 25 years. I just didn't go get my license. So we go back in there. And he's like, "How you think you did?" So I'm like, "I don't know. I guess I did all right." He's like, "No, you did good. You passed." So he goes on my phone, talking about something. She ain't take me to Burger King. Talk about I should fail it because she ain't take me to Burger King. I said, if you don't give me my daggone license, okay? I did everything I was supposed to do. He's like, no, no, you did. So he messed up on my free, and I really believe he did this shit on purpose, so I would have to come back to motor vehicle. He messed up on my freaking license, and I didn't realize it until I got home. So I was like, and before my father would not, he was not, and he knows how long I've been fucking driving. He would not let me drive his fucking car. Like, only time he let me drive his car was when he was sick and I had to take him to the hospital, so he didn't have no fucking choice but to let me drive. And when he needed me to take his car, follow him to take his car to the shop. I know, I know he did because they was. Let me tell you something. Man, are a trip. I swear to goodness. So I'm like, fuck, he messed up on my goddamn on. So I'm like, Daddy, you want to take me back to motor vehicle tomorrow? He's like, no, the hell I'm not, neither. I ain't taking you no goddamn way. You better drive your goddamn self. You done got your license now. You can drive yourself up there. So I go back up there, and the same people that was working. First of all, I'm like, what in the hell is happening? Because the same people that was in motor vehicle the day before was in fucking motor vehicle the very next fucking day. And I was like, why is these same people in here that was in here yesterday? So I go all the way back up to motor vehicle. So the guy at the desk, the front desk, he's like, what you doing back up here? I said, because your coworker messed up on my driver's license. So he's like, oh yeah, he did that on purpose. But you know why he did that on purpose. I said, listen, I don't have time for that, and I'm not paying for it. I was like, I'm not paying for it because that's his fuck up. So when I go back there and I tell him, he's like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I'm like, you need to be paying attention. You want to be in here kikiing and shit. Make me have to get up early in the morning again. I'm not a morning person. I don't like getting up early, so I was freaking pissed off. So he fixed it. He fixed it. He told me, you ain't got to pay for it. I know I ain't got to pay for it. I didn't have any intentions of paying for it because you messed it up. Then I was like, why is these same people in here that was in here yesterday? He's like, damn, you observant. You right. Yeah, I'm paying attention to everything all the time. I said I felt like we're in a freaking Twilight Zone. But I'm glad I finally did that though. So now my father, he keep trying to get me to go every goddamn way. Now he's like, Tanisha, go ahead and take the car and go to the store. I'm like, but I don't feel like going to the store. Well, if you want to go to the store, just get the keys off the thing. You ain't got to say just get the keys off there and put some gas in my car. The, the first day I took his car, my father told my son, all right, now Tanisha, drive right while you out there driving and put some gas in my car. When I tell you my father fucking gas tank was maybe like 2 inches. I mean, not 2 inches. I don't even want to say that. It was like if the gauge had moved slightly to the left, it would have been off the F on the fucking gas tank. He didn't need no fucking gas. I say he tried to be smart to must have put some gas in his car. He did not need no goddamn gas. Listen. Then when I had sent my license to my brother, because again, like I told you, I got my I got a ticket in his car a couple years ago because I was rushing. I was speeding. It was a speeding ticket, but it was a speeding ticket and me driving without a license. But I was trying to get to my doctor's appointment. My brother had to end up coming to get the car because either was that or they was gonna take his car, and he really would have been pissed then. But so I texted him the picture of my driver's license. And he told me something. I know you fucking lying. You finally got this goddamn license. Yes, yes, I finally got it. I'm proud of myself. Yes, I'm proud of myself. But I got a few more things I got to take care of, and I already started on it. But last week and the week before was like busy for me, cause it just seemed like it was one thing after another. Like, why? I was really pissed though about them suspending my daggone license that I had never even had. Like, how? How y'all put a suspension on something that somebody don't have? I was so pissed off about that when I called them. I'm like, how y'all gonna suspend a license that I never even had? Then they had suspended my license and gave me 5 points. I don't have a license yet. How did y'all put points on something that I didn't have? All for speeding. So petty. So very petty. What's going on, Larry? How are you? You know what I hate? I hate when people ask me who did my hair, and then when I say I did it, they be like, "No, you didn't." Why you ask me who did my hair then? If you're not gonna accept my answer, why do you bother asking who did it? So me, my sons, and my mother, we went to IHOP this morning. So my niece calls me. So she like, "Oh, Tanisha, what you doing?" So I'm like, "I'm at IHOP." I said, "What you doing?" She says, "At the cemetery." I said, "What the hell you doing at the cemetery?" My hair. I'm braiding my hair. I said, "Who are you visiting?" She's visiting her grandmother. So I said, I'm like, "Yo, you sitting in the cemetery braiding your hair?" "Yeah, I've been here for 2 hours." My niece is freaking crazy. Yo, you just gonna sit there for 2 hours at the cemetery. Talking about, well, Auntie Nisha, this is the only place I got peace. Couldn't find peace nowhere else. Nowhere else could you find peace. But at the cemetery? Mm, not a park, not by the water, nothing. Right. Then I tell her, I said, listen, she said, Mom, I came to see my grandmother. I said, your grandmother is with you always. Because, my niece, she's supposed to be Catholic. But I'm still going to tell her. I said, your grandmother is with you always. She's not at the cemetery. She's only at the cemetery when you take her there. I said, they don't like when you go to their graves. I know y'all don't realize this, but they don't like it when you go to their graves because you're taking them back there. And it's just reminding them they're not here anymore. They do not like it. She told my son, they did. They don't know enough. I said, no, dummy, we're dead. Because what y'all Bible tell y'all that we're in dead flesh? Gratitude, Larry. Well, um, it's in my bloodline. My great grandfather was. And on my mother's side. And in my father's side, we have that we have that on my father's side too. And then I think great my great great grandfather was a genome, which I'm pissed off about that because I'm just like, ugh. But yeah, gratitude though. Yeah, so I'm like, y'all need to stop doing that. You could make an altar. You keep going to a goddamn gravesite thinking that they there. They are not there. They're only there because you taking them there. She told me something. Auntie Nisha, they did. They don't know nothing. I said, no, we're the dead ones. Because don't your Bible tell you that we're in dead flesh? Gratitude. I said, don't your Bible teach you that we're in dead flesh? They're the ones that are living. We are the ones that are dead. She told me something, you know what? That's true, but she don't know. She don't know I'm here. Then why are you there then? If that's how you feel, why are you there even why are you even there? If you think that she doesn't know that you're there. See, this is what we talking about with you Christians. Christians don't be making no sense at all. They just want shit to sound good, knowing it makes absolutely no sense at all. What you been up to? I know I haven't been on here in ages. I was up here yesterday, and then I think I did a live like 3 days ago. And I said, let me get up here and do a live because I haven't been on here in 2 months. It just be a lot been going on. I was gonna wait till later, but I said, let me get on here now. That's good. That is good. That's all you can do is stay out the way. Yeah, but then she wants to start telling me about her and her being petty. I said, child, man, when she told me what she did, I cannot stand my niece. I said, oh goodness. I told her, I said, you are your grandfather's granddaughter because that shit that you did, why? Why would you do something like that? So her and my next to my older sister don't get along. I don't get along with her either. But she she went to the cemetery again to see her grandmother. So it's like two two spaces next to her grandmother that are open, two plots, and then two plots on the left and right. This wench goes and buys both spaces so that my sister can't so my sister can't be right next to her mother. And then my other niece, she go and buy the other slots that are above and below. So so that my sister can't be buried near her mother. I said, bitch, you are super better. You are your grandfather's granddaughter. I swear to you. Talking about, that's right. I know. I get it from my grandfather. You do. Because that was foolishness that you did. Listen, I'm not about to be sitting there. And she's sitting there putting individual plants in her hair for 2 hours. Just sitting at the cemetery. I know some people go there to feed the ducks and stuff. But for 2 hours, ain't nothing that interesting going on that much that I would sit at the cemetery for 2 hours. I'm just not. This lady that I follow on Instagram, she just lost her 11-year-old daughter, and she Christian too. So she goes out there and she decorates on for Mother's Day. She decorates her daughter's grave and puts a whole lot of stuff. I mean, it was pretty and stuff. And then she had got really emotional because she's like she didn't want to. She's supposed to be moving to another state, and she's like, I don't want to leave my daughter and this and that. So I told her, I said, I know that you do not understand what I'm about to say to you. I said, but your daughter is not there. She's with you always. She's always with you. She's only there when you take her there. So no matter where you move, she's going to be with you. You're not leaving her. Like, I really do not understand what these Christian people be thinking about. You think that you really think that that person is there in that grave? Do y'all not understand what soul and spirit is and what it is? You don't understand that that's energy, and energy you cannot. I had to tell somebody this last week. At the moment of death, your soul and spirit exits the body. So I don't know what the fuck people be talking about when, for one, they be get ready to have a funeral and they be like, I'm getting so and so ready for heaven. If that were a real place, they would be there by now. It's it's not gonna be. They're not gonna enter there days later. That's why I just know, and that's why I don't be caring about what the fuck that I be saying to Christians, because they say the stupidest shit, and they really be believing in their mind that it makes sense. You know what I think the scariest thing is about a person? That they start to believe the lies that they tell themselves. I think that's the scariest thing about a person, because once you start believing the lies that you tell yourself, you have gone. Delusion to me is like an understatement. Like, you have gone to psychopath status, as far as I'm concerned. Seriously, I don't know. But I just made a video the other day. Larry, you see, you should have been up here the other day when I was on here talking about these tarot card readers, these Christian tarot card readers. They be on here flipping cards and shit and saying Jesus at the all in the same goddamn breath. Like, make it make sense. That's another example as to how the shit that they be saying and doing don't be making no goddamn sense. But it does in their mind because they think that they are right. I don't know what's wrong with people. I'm not. I'm not perfect by no means, but I got sense, and you can't just tell me anything, and you ain't gonna make me believe just anything. Listen, I am a tarot card reader, but I know the difference. I'm not no Christian. I'm not in religion. I am spiritual. And if you are Christian, you are not supposed to be doing tarot cards, because according to Christianity, divination is frowned upon, and reading tarot cards is divination. Ain't my fault that them idiots allowed a book to make them believe that them talking and calling out for and getting assistance from their ancestors was demonic. That's not my fault that they let a book make them believe that. It's like, I really be tripping off of these, and then they be talking. First of all, I was just saying this yesterday, and then when I was listening to somebody's video today, I just said this yesterday. I said, I don't. Do Christians know that when they in there, when they reading their Bible, I want one of them to explain to me why there's Jesus, God, Lord, and Spirit. Because those are four different entities. They're not speaking on the same person. They think that they are. You Christians think that they are. They think that those are all the same. But if that were the case, why do they keep calling them something different? So this girl is flipping her cards, and I mean, she's going to town. And she's talking about something. Well, I rebuke this in the name of Jesus. Bitch, hang them cards up. Hang them up. Then she up there talking about something. Spirit, can you tell me who you want to talk to? Because according to your Bible, and according to your thought process, Jesus and Spirit is supposed to be the same freaking energy. And it's not. But it's crazy to me again that you you can believe that Jesus and Lord is the same energy, that they're speaking on the same entity, but y'all refuse to believe that Jesus is also Satan and they are speaking on the same energy when they're describing Satan and describing Jesus. It is the exact same description. But then y'all will say, that's not what that means. That's not what that means. They not talking about, that's not, they ain't talking about him. Mm-mm. Y'all Christians are crazy. Seriously. And listen, I used to be Christian. I did. But again, we're in the age of Aquarius now. It's no reason. And being Christian, like Christianity never sat right in my soul. Never. I told y'all before, I had my awakening in 2018. You couldn't pay me all the money on fucking earth to go back to religion. Because, see, the thing with religious people is they believe. I know. They always say, well, I believe it's Jesus is that. Yeah, you believe. That means you still need convincing. Meanwhile, I know. I know what I know. I don't believe anything. I know. Listen, oh, be cracking me up. And the thing is, like the reader that I was watching, it wasn't that she wasn't a good reader. She was good and she was on point. But she praising somebody that wasn't even giving her the information to relay. She is praising the shit out of Jesus. Jesus ain't giving you that fucking information. Your ancestors are giving you that. Spirit is giving you that. Mm-mm. It cracks me up, y'all. Cracks me all the way up. But I I'm not gonna stay on here because I just wanted to get up here for a little while, tell y'all about my experience at motor vehicle because I'm telling you it was so freaking funny. Every time I went up there, they had me crack up laughing like y'all play too much. But I know damn well that y'all will give out license to anybody because the shit that I kept saying and doing, like I can't even see, ain't no words on these signs. Dude, just like don't even worry about it. I got you. Oh, okay. So that means that just tells me that even maybe it's just me, but or y'all just be letting anybody get a fucking driver's license in here around here. Cause what the fuck? Somebody tell you that they don't see no letters on the sign that I'm supposed to be reading on, and you just be like, don't worry about it. Whew. Yeah, but that's how that went. But like I said, y'all, I'm gonna be back up here. Either it's gonna be tomorrow evening or Thursday evening. Oh, gratitude, Larry. I am. I am. I am. I like I said, I'm gonna go live tomorrow or Thursday because somebody wants to talk about something important, and so I'm gonna be live back. All right. Gratitude for coming on here. All right, y'all. I shall return. Have a good night, Larry. Peace, y'all.